Now, how to work with special characters? Okay, I want to include special characters. So how can we work with the special characters? That I'll show you today. HTML special characters. About.html. So let me delete this meta tag. So we know how to work with internal links. This is the heading and this is the attribute href. So index.html. Here special characters. For example, I want copyright symbol. Okay, I want copyright symbol. So there are so many symbols we can able to use. For example, here I want copyright symbol. Copyright. In case of copyright, it is copy. Likewise, we have so many things. So many characters. Some random character I'm picking. First, let me show copyright. Ampersand copy. Ampersand copy. So go live. Let me check whether inbuilt browser support we get or not in case of Visual Studio Code. Chrome browser. Chrome. Inbuilt browser. Let's see this. Debug. me check this. Fine. And we don't want this, it seems. So here itself, we are getting the browser. So actually, we have installed it. That is why we were getting that preview. Okay, fine. So this is how we can able to get the copyright symbol. Like this, we can able to get any symbol. Okay, according to your requirement. Able to get any symbol, ampersand. If I say something like this one, let me check. Save it. We are getting this symbol. Copyright and dollar sign. If I say dollar, we are getting dollar sign. So if I want to get the rupees sign, rupees. Let me check whether support is available or not. Rupees, Indian rupees. Now there is another way. There is another way we can able to get that rupees symbol. Okay, that I'll show you later. So here, copy, copyright symbol will get. So then, um, we can also nest the list. That I'll show you now. Yesterday we have seen ordered list and unordered list. How to nest the list? Nesting list. HTML, about.html, So here the list, actually if I write anything by using list, okay, we can use it for the navigation purpose. Something I will write, okay, using unordered list. That one we can able to use it as a navigation. For example, observe this one. As a navigation, we can able to use it. Navigation. Home page, about page, unordered list. This is the unordered list. So here, first we are writing list, li. Inside that, we are including anchor tag. First list, then inside that, anchor tag. First list, then anchor tag. Unordered list, we can able to use it as a navigation. If I come to about.html, we can go to home page. Now we are in the index.html. Now in index.html, what do we have? So we are trying to nest the list. On top, on the outer, we have the unordered list. Unordered list. Then we have this unordered list. John. Then Peter is having the skills. Then we are trying to include ordered list, skills list. It will be coming by using number, ordered list. We are nesting this ordered list inside this list. This is the opening, this is the closing. We're actually nesting this ordered list inside this list. This list is nested inside outer unordered list. Now, Sarah is having the skills ordered list. First, we are describing the sentence by using list. Sarah is having the skills. Then, by using ordered list, we are listing out what are all the skills she is having. So, this is the basic nesting. So, tag inside tag, we can able to nest any level, we can able to go, but we should be organized, otherwise we'll get the confusion. We should be organized. In any level you can able to nest the tags. Yesterday we have seen this table creation. For example, here we have another table. We'll get something like this. We are not setting the border. Okay, that is why without a border we are getting this. Table, we have table row. First row, number and name. Okay, then we are closing that. Then another table row. Inside table we are using it. Okay, inside table, this table row. So totally we have 3 table rows. These table rows, okay, this table rows inside the table tag. Inside the table tag. Now table heading. By using table heading, we are supplying some text, table heading, number, name. Now, what is the difference between table heading and table data? See here, this is TD, this is TH, table header. We are getting in the bold format. In case of table header, we are getting in the bold format, number and name in the bold. Table data, we are getting in the normal font. It is not bold, it is the regular font. That is the difference for table heading and table data. But all these are represented through table row itself. Inside the table row, this is table heading. Now inside the table row, this is table data. This is also table data. All these things inside table. All these things are inside table tag. Now we'll see how to work with the forms to get the input from the user. Okay, that is very important. How we can able to work with the forms. Let me go to this index.html. Form action is equal to method. See this, carefully observe. This entire HTML page, this entire HTML page, okay, can be considered as one document object. That you'll come to know in JavaScript. But as of now, in one HTML file, we can able to develop any number of forms. In one HTML file, we can able to develop any number of forms. Now, forms will be given some kind of indexes. Okay, how we are considering in case of array, it is going to start from 0. Likewise, it is going to start from 0 itself. So this form is 0th form. We can able to develop any number of forms. So we'll be using form tag for developing the forms. Why we need the form? To get the input, to get the data from the user, to get the data from the user. Now, what are all the attributes we are using? Action one attribute, method one attribute. Here, usually if you are working in backend, then only this attribute is most important. Okay, as of now, this one is not necessary for us. Okay, when you are learning Servlet and JSP, when you are learning Servlet and JSP, then you'll come to know what is the purpose of this method attribute. As of now, we don't want that. Now, form action. Why we need this action attribute? In the sense, we collect the data from the user and we need to send the data to some destination. Um, we need to send the data to the server. In the server, one file will be there. Assume that we need to send this whatever the data we have collected, that to one database. Okay. Um, for that purpose, for example, not only it is, resource can be anything. Here, whatever the data we collect, that we are going to send it to some destination. We are going to send to some destination. For that purpose, we are going to use this action. Let me show the preview. This is how we are getting that. Um, so what is this label tag? To name this tag, okay, we are using this label tag. To name this tag, input to tag, to name this tag, we are using this label tag for representing this tag, input to tag. To represent this element, we are using this label element. This is also one of the element, one of the tag. For is equal to first name. See, these are all the very important. You'll come to know the usage when you are when you start working in backend. Okay, like Servlets and JSP. Then you'll come to know what are all the importance of these things. Label for is equal to first name. Okay, first name we are getting here. Then input type. Input type can be anything. So here text. Okay, input type can be a radio, right? Checkbox like that. But here input type is text box. We can able to get the input from the user in any of the type by using checkbox, radio button, text box, like that. We can able to get in so many ways. So here we are using simple text box. Okay, text input type text we are accepting. Name is first name. Okay, this name and label name must be same. Okay, this should be identical. Name is equal to first name, label for name, for is equal to this name, that should be same. Now id, okay, we have seen why we need this id. So id is equal to first name. This element we are uniquely identifying by using id value first name, then value John. Here by default we are supplying the value John by default. If you don't want, you can able to just you know remove that value and you can supply your own value. It is also possible. But here by default, John will be the value. That is how we are getting value is equal to John. We are setting implicitly value is equal to John. This is also an attribute. Then label password, input type is the password. Input type input type is password. If the input type is password, okay, whatever you type here, that will come in the form of dot. Okay, nobody can able to see that. Okay, that will be hiding the characters. Type is equal to password. Okay, some text box kind of input field we get. Once you start typing, you'll get some dots. You'll get the dots instead of the characters. Characters will be hidden. That is a specialty of this input type password. ID is password. So placeholder, temporary placeholder. Okay, you can able to inform to the user. Okay, please type here your password like that. Once you start typing your password, that will be disappearing. So it is the temporary placeholder. That is the use of this placeholder attribute. Placeholder. Here also we can able to give placeholder. Type your name. Save it. Type your first name we are getting. So that is the use of placeholder. Once I click on submit, okay, after filling every information, once I click on submit, observe here where we are developing this submit button. Submit here. Here we are giving one line break. Okay. Then input type email. Input type email. Basic validation we get here. In case of email, basic validation we get. I'll show you how we are getting that basic validation. Now input type submit. Fine. Then this is the submit button. Let me keep one submit button. Once I click on submit, what happens? It is going to send the data, whatever the data we enter in this text fields, that data to the destination. Whatever the destination I give here, it will be going to that destination. For example, here do we have, what is that? Here currently we are in the index.html. Let me go to about.html. About.html. Fine. Once I click on submit, that data should be submitted to about.html. That is the source I'm specifying. For that source, we are sending the input data. Here, let's say password. Oh, basically, simply I'll give widget submit. What happens? Here, basic validation we are getting. See, without validation, we should not send the data to the server. Without any validation, we should not send the data. Whatever the data we collect from the user, we need to validate in the client side itself. This is the client side. Browser is the client. At the client side itself, we need to evaluate those data, whether properly, whether it is in the proper format or not, whether it is valid or not. So here, we are not writing external JavaScript for this validation, but we are getting the basic validation here. Basic validation. Every email will be having @ symbol, right? That is what it is expecting. Every email address will be having @ symbol. Okay. Then at example.com. Example also fine. See, here we are redirecting to, we are redirected to about.html. We have redirected to about.html. This is about.html. Currently we are in the about.html. Whatever the data we have entered, that data we are submitting, sending to the destination called about.html. If I click on submit, it is going to that page, about.html. That is the use of this action attribute. So basic validation we are getting in case of email tag, sorry, this input type email, basic validation. @ symbol must be there.
Sir, what is the use of name? Name.
Where is that name?
Name is
Here,
equals to email.
yeah, yeah. So this one, as I said, in servlets and JSPs, we'll be using to get the to get the input values. Here parameter values, some method we have. Okay, in case of servlet we have one method called parameter values, get the parameter values. So to get this value, input, whatever the data we enter here, so we are getting that input, we are specifying what field. Here by using name we are identifying this field, input type email, and what is the name. Here we are identifying this field by using name. So this name we are going to use in the backend, okay, to get the value of this field. That is the purpose of this name. You'll come to know. And label also similar, but label we are using within this HTML. Okay, label we are using within this HTML, but in case of name we are using in the backend. So all these things are somehow, okay, connected to backend. As of now, the most important one is how we can able to send the form data to some destination, and this one label. Okay, when we are working with complex website design, these are all common. We'll come to know how we can able to use these labels. Another form is there, about.html, index.html. So what do we get here? Observe. In this form we are getting in this format. So input type text, we know this. Then we are giving two line breaks. Here, make a habit of giving this backslash after this BR. Represents this tag doesn't have the separate closing tag. Here itself, we are closing this tag. Then input type password you have. Then we have email. Two line breaks we are giving text area. In case of text area, you'll get larger input box. Larger input box. That is why we are calling it as text area. Text area tag name. Okay, we can give any name. ID. We can give anything. Now columns and rows. How many columns? 50 columns and 20 rows we want. That is the size of this text area. 50 columns, 20 rows. This is the size we get. Text area field. You can able to write anything. Then radio. Type is radio. Input to type. Input to type. Okay. Input type is equal to radio. Input type is radio. Then what do we need to concentrate here? Yeah. Input type radio. Name is coding. Now you will come to know what is the use of this name. So here, for example, I can in case of radio button, only one we can able to select. Okay, that is the purpose of using the radio button. Like select your gender, whether male or female. So both comes under gender, name gender. Fine. Here we can able to select anyone, not both. We can only select anyone. So for that purpose, if you select male, female won't be selected. If you select female, male won't be selected. So for that kind of purpose, we are using radio. Now type is radio, name is coding. Value JavaScript. Fine. Then why we are using this checked? By default, when you open the browser, this will be marked. This will be selected by default. That is the purpose we are using checked. If I remove this checked, what happens? It will be gone. That won't be selected. Um, if I want to make that as selected, that is why I'm using that check. Okay, now by default it is going to be checked. Value is equal to JavaScript. Okay, whatever the value is there here, if the value is JavaScript, then that is checked. here, let me minimize this. Input type radio, name coding, value is equal to JavaScript checked. This input, okay, this input by default will be checked. That is the meaning. This input will be by default checked. This input by default it is going to be checked. Now input type radio, name is coding. Now two input radio buttons, comes under one group. Two input radio buttons comes under one group. One is JavaScript, another one is Java. Both comes under one group, as well as Python also. Name is what? Coding. So for all the radio, we are giving the name as coding. So these three radio buttons, these three radio inputs comes under one category, one group. Only one can be selected. Among this, only one can be selected, right? We can select only one, not multiple. That is the usage of radio button. If I use checked for any input radio, that will be by default selected. Let me remove this checked and keep it for Python. Now Python will be checked. When I load this page, by default Python will be checked. That is the use of this checked property. Then checkbox. Input type checkbox. In case of checkbox, you can go for multiple selection. In case of checkbox, you can go for multiple selection. That is the use of checkbox. Not only either this or that, you can select anyone. Okay, you can select any input. Okay, multiple inputs. Checkbox, input type checkbox. First we have JavaScript. Then once again another checkbox. Name is programming. Carefully observe, name will be remaining same. All this comes under one category, one group of checkboxes. By using this, we can able to for example, we can able to do some operations here. Why? That is the use of this name is equal to programming for every checkbox. We are giving name is equal to programming for every checkbox because let me in JavaScript I'll show you how we can able to do that. Here I'll develop one more input. Okay, select all. If I click on select all these checkboxes should be selected. If I click on select all these checkboxes will be selected. If I click on uncheck that, if I uncheck that select all this will be unchecked. Like that functionality we can able to get. That is why we are considering these checkboxes as one group. Then drop down. In case of drop down, select, right? Select. So all these are comes under one category. See here, whatever the option we write, that we are writing inside the select. That is why name remains the same. Name is equal to languages. Now here inside the select, selected tag, we are having so many options. So many options. So JavaScript, Java, Python, values. That is the values. Why it is not working? Do we have submit? Yeah. We are not getting drop down. We should get the drop down here. Java, we have JavaScript, Python. Um, Drop down functionality we are not getting. So that is why we use external browser. Okay, in any of the IDE, some problems will there. Some of the problems will be there that won't support all the features of normal browser. That is why we use external browser, normal browser. Let me show that. I'll do one thing. So this is what we have developed. So here we need to get the drop down. Here we are getting the drop down. So in external browser, no issues. In inbuilt browser, we are getting some issue. So let me give some line breaks. Here, drop down. You can select any one option, and I can also make it multi-select. Okay, here I can select any one option. Okay, any one option. These are all the options. JavaScript, Java, Python. These are all the options. By default, Python is selected. I think um, nothing has been okay. Okay, Java. That is, yeah, by using selected property, we are making Java as by default. Java is selected by default. Java option selected by default. That is the use of this selected property. Um, and also, I can make multi-select, multiple. Let me try that. See, we can able to select multiple options. If I say multiple property, then we can able to select multiple options. Otherwise, by default, I can select only one option. Only one option. So that is about forms.
Sir,
Then
sir, if we remove selected, then we can select anyone, sir.
if I remove selected, what happens? By default, no, what happens? The first one, if I remove selected, what happens here? If I remove selected, what happens? Whichever the option is there as the first option. Let me, if I remove the selected property, whichever the first option is there, that will be selected by default. That will be selected by default. Whichever the option is there as the first, that will be selected by default. So here I need to make a Python as selected. That is why I'll use selected. Now Python got selected by default. That is the use. If you don't give selected, what happens? By default, first option will be selected. So CSS is very, very important. See, in case of HTML, if you just develop by using HTML, okay, it is very boring. If you develop the websites, web pages by using HTML only, you know, it will be looking empty. Um, there won't be any color styles. Okay, even in HTML itself, we have used some of the CSS. Okay, so if it is like this, okay, it is it is not like you know visually rich. So to make it more visually better, we'll be using this CSS. So a lot of concepts are there. We'll jump into CSS now. So first we'll learn about basics of CSS. So basically, why we are using this CSS? CSS for styling an HTML document. Without a CSS, it will be visually, it won't be that much convenient. Okay. So for styling purpose, we'll be using CSS, cascading style sheet. CSS is the language we'll be using for styling HTML document. Now CSS describes how an HTML element should be displayed on a web page. Basics we will see. Okay. Um, we have seen already what are inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS that we have seen in the HTML itself. Now, for example, one simple application I'll show you. CSS selectors. Basically, first we need to learn about CSS selectors. Now, how we can able to use the selectors? CSS selectors are used to find or select HTML element. 5 categories. What are all the types of CSS selectors? We have simple selector, combination selectors, then pseudo class selectors, attribute selectors, pseudo elements selector. Now, basics I'll show you. Here, this is what selector we are calling. Okay, P. P is the selector. Then this is the CSS property text align. Text align. Okay, that is the property. Then this is the value. Center is the value. Color also property. Then red is the value. By using semicolon as a separator, we can able to supply any number of um, property and values. Any number of property and values. So this is which selector. Actually, we are talking about here simple selector. Simple selector. This is a simple selector category. Now, this is the ID selector. First, let us see the output. So here, every paragraph. So simple selector we are going. Okay. For every paragraph, we are selecting this paragraph element. Okay. Selector. Every paragraph, whatever the paragraph it is there within this page, that will be styled with this style. Text align will be in the center, color will be in the red. Color will be in the red. After that, this is the ID selector. This is ID selector. Name, okay, name we have done. After that, ID. How we can able to go for ID? Here simply we need to include that hash symbol, right? Simply you should use hash here. So styling is gone now. Observe why we have lost the style. Text align center hash p. Mm, okay. ID. We need to give the ID for paragraphs. Okay. If the ID is equal to p, ID is equal to p, right? Save it. Now I'll get the style. This is also ID is equal to p. This is the ID selector. Now we have class selector also. See, this is the ID selector. Then we can go for class selector. Class selector with the class attribute. Fine. How we are going to select that? Class is the attribute. Now dot. How we are selecting this? By using dot, then name of the class. Dot and the name of the class. ABC. Whichever the elements are within the class name ABC, those elements will be getting the style. Text line is center, color will be in the red. H1 and paragraph is with the class name ABC. So that will be getting this style. H1 and paragraph. If I have any other, let's say this paragraph. So here, this element doesn't have the class name with ABC. That is why. This one is having the ID. ID of something like XYZ. Whichever the elements with the ABC class. This is the style. Now for ID, we can go for hash. We can go for hash. Now the name of the ID. Save it. Now we are getting that style. Now class name cannot be starting with a number. Class name should not start with a number. Dot, we need to represent it as a dot, represent the dot, then we need to write the name of the class. Dot, then class name. This is the class selector. Class selector. Now we have universal selector also. Universal selector. If I say universal selector, let me remove all these things. Okay. Everything. Star. What is that? Extra line center. Then color is red. Fine. We are getting everything. See here. Even though we have not specified the name of the class, name of the ID, star means universal. Universal selector. All the elements will be selected. All the elements will be selected. All the elements will be selected. All the elements will be affected by this style. Now let's say I have internal style. Internal style. Style is equal to color something like blue violet. Now which one is more powerful? Inline. Okay, inline CSS. Style is equal to color colon this one. So inline CSS is more powerful than internal and universal, right? Internal and external. Inline CSS is more powerful. Now we have the style in the inline itself. Now here we are going for universal selector. We are going for universal selector. Whichever the style specified by the inline CSS, that will be the style, not the universal, not the um, style that is specified by universal selector. Instead, the style that is specified by inline CSS. Inline CSS. Fine. Let's go for internal CSS. Okay, let me delete this. The most powerful one is internal, inline CSS. Okay, that will be overriding everything. Even though you have internal or universal. Let me give the internal CSS. For example, paragraph, right? Um, Paragraph. Then I'll be removing this ID. Then let's go for something different. Extra line left. Color is some other color. See here, even though we have universal selector in the sense it is going to select all the elements, every element. But here we have um, simple selector. What is that? Name. By using the name of the element, by using the name of the element, paragraph element. Now this is what internal CSS. Even though we have universal selector, which one is given the more preference here? Here, red center aligned, okay, lorem ipsum. See, first one we are getting red and center aligned heading, right? Now for paragraph, whatever the paragraph we have, okay, for that paragraph, what is the style? That is specified by internal CSS. Even though we have universal selector, universal, it is going to select all the elements, but because of this name selector is powerful than universal selector. Okay, name selector will be given more preference over universal selector. This is universal selector. Now multiple, right? Uh, Multiple selectors. It is what we are calling grouping selector. Okay. CSS grouping selector. H1 element, H2 element, then P element by using comma as a separator. H1 element, H2 element, and P element. So all these elements will be having this style: text align, center, then color is chart chartreuse. Okay. This is the grouping selector. Why we are not e.html. Yeah. So here H1 element, H2 element, then paragraph. In this HTML document, any number of H1 element, any number of H2 element, any number of paragraph element. For all these elements, this is the style. Group selector. This is why we are calling it as group selector. And also we have seen inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. This is the most common question in the interview. In case of CSS, how we can able to write the comment? Okay. So in if you have already studied Java, you know this comment style. The same whatever the convention that is used by the Java, same convention we are using here for writing comment in case of CSS and HTML. No. HTML is different. In case of HTML, see, this is how we are going to write, right? In case of HTML, this is the comment. But in case of CSS, that is the Java style. Forward slash star, then star forward slash. Inside this, anything you can able to keep, that will be comment. That will be ignored by the browser. So we have seen colors. Yeah, this is also we have seen border 2 pixels. Let me demonstrate this. Simply we are including the background color for each H1 element. See, there are mainly three ways of setting the colors. One is um, by using straight away the color name. Straight away we can able to specify a color name. Another one is by using RGB, red, green, blue. If I mix these three colors, we get one color. Then using a hash value, right? We'll get one unique color. HSL, that is also um, one way of getting the unique color. This is more advanced. So in HSL we get more combinations, more unique colors. These are all the basics actually. So after this, I need to develop one now. Yesterday, whatever I showed you, we need to develop that project. So here, let me show you this. Why we are using this p.1, p.2, right? If any paragraph with the class name 1, with any paragraph, see here in this HTML document, we can able to develop any number of paragraphs with any class name, right? Any class name. If any paragraph element with the class name as 1, this is the style. If any paragraph with the class name is 2, this is the style. Likewise, see here. For the paragraphs with the class name, that is the style. See, in case of a border style, we have so many things. Solid, dotted, so many things we have. In case of border style, double, hidden, okay. So many we have. So here you'll find dimensions, how we can able to calculate the border width. Border width. If I if I go for 5 pixels and 20 pixels, what happens? Border width. 5 pixels is the top, then bottom also 5 pixels. Um, if I go for 20 pixels on each sides, right? 20 pixels. It is on right. So left also will be 20 pixels. So for all each and every side we are giving specifying the size, width, border width. Style, border style, whether it is solid or dotted, likewise, or double. What we are getting. So here it is the ridge, okay, ridge format, border style ridge. This is a style for ridge. Then double, then we are getting dotted, right? Dotted. It is not rendered properly. That is a problem with inbuilt. If I use internal browser, we'll get this kind of border. Here, why we are getting big dots? Here, border 3 width. See here, 35 pixels. Okay, one. Yeah, 35 pixels we have given. Let me reduce it to else? Basically, you'll get the dotted line, right? Dotted box. In case here each side we are specifying the size. Okay, we are specifying the size of this border. Each side we can able to specify the size, border width. And also we can go for different border color, right? For each side we can go for different border color. That is also possible. Show you that. See, different border colors we are getting here. Border color here, um, for four sides. For four sides, only one color. But each side, if I want different color, right? That is also possible. Yeah. Border color red, green, blue, yellow. Each side. See, each side we are getting different color. On the left side we are getting yellow. First, we need to consider while you are specifying width also. If you supply first value, it is going to consider the top. Okay. If you supply another value, it is going to consider for right side. Next value is bottom. Blue is bottom, yellow is left. First top, then right, then bottom, then left. Each side we are giving different color. That is also possible. Here, each side we can go for dotted solid, anything. So here on the sides it is solid, on top and bottom it is dotted. Yesterday itself we have seen about the margin. The that is basically the concept of CSS box model. Padding also we have seen. So here, yesterday I showed you in the Google developer tools what is the box model. So if it is the content, right? By using element we are specifying the content. This is padding, this area is padding. Then this is the border, it is the margin. For one HTML element, this is the box model. See, I need to start the project now. It will take another 1 hour. Can we continue? Can we continue or not? It will take another 1 hour. Complete project. That whatever I showed you yesterday, simple coffee junkie, that project. Please wait. Actually, um, we are facing some connection problem. Let me correct that. Guys, are you facing any connection issue?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right? Fine.
Oh,
So I'll take the attendance. Please wait.
the presenting screen is black, so we can't see.
Please answer your attendance. Why? Some connection issues, it seems. Don't know whether it's submitted HTML. I don't know whether when I submitted or not. Let me cross check later. Chaitra has submitted.
Present, sir.
Sandeep,
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
Bataraj? Yeah. Chanaba?
Present, sir.
Sven?
Sir,
What about assignment?
I'll send, sir. I'll send by evening, sir. Today, I'll send by today, sir.
Send an email or WhatsApp?
Sir, I have not sent, sir. I'll send you to your email, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir.
Chandra?
Present, sir. Submitted both assignments, sir. Collections and HTML.
Natish? Ramkor?
Yeah, present, sir. I sent collections one. I'll send HTMLs today, sir.
Okay. Yashaswini. Fine. What about Soundarya? Have you submitted? Soundarya and
I'll send by tomorrow.
Nalina?
I'll send by tomorrow.
Nalina, have you submitted? Okay, I don't think she's present. Chirag has submitted
Send by tomorrow, sir.
yesterday itself at 12 o'clock. Nalina, are you there?
So this is Soundar. I will
Vivek?
send by tomorrow, sir.
Vivek.
Present, sir.
Okay. Have you sent?
Yes, sir, through mail.
Okay, fine. So,
Shall I leave, sir?
yeah, sure. Vinay.
Soundarya, sir. Present.
Yeah, I have given, but assignment, have you submitted?
I will send by tomorrow, sir.
Submitted, huh? Okay, fine.
Sir, Nandish Babu present.
I have given Nandish Babu. Then
Sir, Raghu present, sir.
I'll check.
Sir, I have sent the project also, sir.
Who is that?
Chirag, sir.
Chandana?
Chirag.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine. I'll check now.
yeah.
Sir, Chennappa present, sir.
Channappa. Given. No problem. Then here. Satish. Satish, are you there? In case absent. Raghu, have you submitted assignment? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, anything for today?
Yeah. Guys, we'll continue tomorrow. Please practice all these things. I'll be sharing the video after processing, and also I'll be updating the repository. When practice all these things, we'll continue tomorrow.
Sir, any project for today?
Sir, have you given me attendance? Sahana, sir.
Sorry, what? Yeah, tell me.
Have you given me attendance? And I've submitted all the assignments.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So here, Chirag, copy assignment.
Sir, I've sent the project in mail, sir.
Which project link?
So that yesterday you gave that project, that one.
That I have sent that video.
I'm telling about that project, sir.
Video I have sent.
Yeah, that is small project that you gave for.
You want project?
No, I sent that, sir.
Which one you are asking? That you want that source code?
No, sir. I am telling that I have sent that project, sir, in your mail, which you gave yesterday,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm checking it. I'll show you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
show you that.
yeah.
Um, if any link was there for Wikipedia,
Yeah, sir. That image itself is a
okay,
link, sir.
if I click on that, that will take me to Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah.
About, back to top. Here we don't need this. Okay, fine. If I have some content, we can go to. So here also you can include other pages links, right? In about.
Okay, okay, sir.
If I go for numbers, yeah. Okay. Have you tried that rupees symbol?
Rupees symbol, sir. I thought you told to just write RS or something.
No issues.
Yeah.
Try that. Number, last name. Then description. For description, you can go for text area. Click on submit. Copyright.
Yeah.
Why we are getting this HTML.em? You have included this HTML.
Yes, sir.
That is why. Fine, Chirag. Good. Keep it on. Tomorrow I'll, step by step, I'll explain in the class.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a
Okay,
good day.
okay,
Bye.
okay, sir.